Connor Gillock joining us today, joining us right now. The man, the myth, the legend once again, Connor Gillock. Welcome to the show once again. I think it's the third time we have you on, so it's a pleasure as always getting to this time speak some basketball with you, some March Madness, as we'll be taking a look at some of the bracket and getting our picks in. So we're excited to have you along. The way this will work is we'll each get one side of the bracket. Connor Gillock will be doing the left side. I'll be doing the right side. We'll go one by one, basically, kind of getting our picks. One side left, one side right. And eventually, as you said earlier, we'll meet in the middle and determine the champion. So start us off with your side of the bracket. Top.
Start with the left side. Once again, thank you for having me on for the third time. It's an honor. So we start with middle 116, UConn versus Stetson. It's going to be a no-brainer. I'm going to go UConn for the first pick in this bracket challenge we're going to go together.
UConn, perfect. Yeah, that shouldn't be too hard. On the left side, Houston, or on the right side, Houston, Longwood, number 1 seed Houston. Got to go with them all the way. So Houston beating Longwood for sure.
All right, then we go on to the left side here with the 8-9 matchup, Florida Atlantic versus Northwestern. This is going to be an absolute battle of a game. I've seen both these teams playing not in person, but watching on game. I'm going to go with Florida Atlantic in this one. I feel like they're a little bit underrated, ranked this year, but they also have had tough times this year, but they also made the Final Four last year. I'll get more on that in later picks.
I like that. I like Florida Atlantic against Northwestern. I feel like Northwestern's conference is tougher, but overall, yeah, I think Florida might get the win, as you said, Final Four team last year, so it wouldn't really surprise me. Let's take a look here. Nebraska, Texas A&M. I have to go in Nebraska. I'm going to go in Nebraska. Yeah, it's a tough one. It should be close.
Oh, yeah, it'll be a good game.
But I think they'll edge it out.
I think it's a good pick. I like the Nebraska pick there. I think they're going to be a solid team going to the tournament, and they got something to prove, and I think they can do it. All right, now we got the 5-12 matchup: San Diego State versus UAB. I'm going to go with the first upset of the tournament. I'm going to go UAB.
Really?
I think it's going to be one of the few upsets that happens this year, but I think UAB is going to pull it out for San Diego State. Another team that made the Final Four last year as well.
You don't think there'll be too many upsets this time?
Early on, I think there'll be a few, but once we get later in the tournament, I think it's going to be probably very obvious later in the tournament.
Should be pretty standard. Maybe second round, moving on third round, maybe. No. Wisconsin and James Madison. Wisconsin 22-13 in the Big Ten. James Madison, the number 12 seed, 31-3. Better record, not too many tough opponents compared to Wisconsin. I have to go with Wisconsin in this one.
All right. That's a tough game to choose from. I mean, both those teams have played really well over the year, but Wisconsin obviously played in the Big Ten, one of the hardest conferences to play in. And James Madison, they've had a really solid year. We'll see how they do. It'll be a really big game to watch for sure.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now we're going on to the 4-13, with Auburn and Yale. I'm going to go Auburn. They just won the SEC championship. I mean,
Yep.
that team is ridiculous right now. I don't see anybody stopping them in the first round.
Do you think they'll be making it to Final Four?
We'll see how the bracket goes.
Yeah, we're getting maybe too ahead of ourselves, but I think in the bracket I filled out yesterday for ESPN, I'm praying it goes through to become a millionaire somehow, some way.
Yeah.
I think I had them in the Final Four, so we'll see. Taking a look at Duke and Vermont. Vermont, I believe, has no chance. The number 12 seed against number 4 Duke. Duke, I think, wins this one by 15.
Yeah, Duke's going to blow them out. I just don't see any world that Vermont can withstand Duke and how much firepower they got. All right, now I'm going over to BYU versus Duquesne. I'm going to go BYU, but I know Duquesne's going to put up a good fight because I don't know if you know this, but they were coached. Their head coach was Coach LeBron James back in high school.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So quite the resume that he's got there.
It'll be a fun game. I think BYU's going to edge it out because, a lot of people are saying they're really underrated. The Mountain West this year, actually, they're part of the Big 12 now, but I know that BYU is one of those sleeper teams that should have been a higher seed than what they were.
BYU beating Duquesne. Interesting. Taking a look at Texas Tech, NC State. I have to go with Texas Tech. I don't like the fact that they're ranked higher than NC State. Sometimes I like going for the underdogs, but in this case, I think they'll be able to win it out by single digits.
Yeah, I mean, I like your pick there. That game's a toss-up because I mean, NC State just won the ACC championship. They're on a miracle run right now because they were the 10th seed going to that tournament and won it all, so it's pretty impressive. But yeah, I think Texas Tech will edge it over NC State. Now we're down to the 3-14 matchup: Illinois versus Morehead State.
Ooh,
I gotta go with my guys in orange. Gotta go with U of I Fighting Illini. I mean, no bias there, but after you just watched the Big Ten championship and all that stuff, and you seen Shannon Damask put on an absolute clinic against Wisconsin, so I gotta take U of I.
yeah, I'm not necessarily rooting for them to win the whole thing, but I want them to get far, especially because they're a Big Ten team. So I support you on that one. U of I getting hopefully the first round win. On the other side, Oakland and Florida, two teams I really haven't seen much of.
I believe it's Oakland, Kentucky.
Yep, Oakland, Kentucky. Yep, Florida's for the next one. Oakland and Kentucky. Okay, so Kentucky I have seen a decent amount of, so I'm going to go with them. Number 3 seed facing Oakland, number 14. So Florida or Kentucky getting the win there.
I've seen Oakland play because they played against Illinois early in the year, but I knew that team was gonna be good. I knew as the year went on, they pulled off a couple upsets actually before their conference season. So that team's good. I mean, they're gonna put up a decent fight, but Kentucky's got a lot of firepower in their young guards with Reed Shepard and Rob Dillingham. So that's gonna be a tough matchup for them. But I could definitely see Kentucky just wipe them off the court. Now for the 7-10 game, this is gonna be one of the more up in the air games in the tournament. Washington State versus Drake. One of the things that I watched in this selection yesterday was Drake. They're just really good team. I gotta go Drake. I mean, it was either them or Indiana State, which just missed out on this tournament. But Drake's definitely enough. I think Drake's gonna pull off the upset, possibly make the run of the tournament. We will see.
Really? So one of the sleeper teams, Drake University.
You never know. It's Drake. I mean, can't disrespect him, but can't rule him out.
Out of the Missouri Valley Conference, according to Connor Gillock, they will be beating Washington State. So interesting pick there. Florida will face off against either Boise State or Colorado. And I don't really care if it's Boise State, if it's Colorado. I think that Florida is going to be able to edge it out. And maybe I want to predict the score for this one, score difference. I'll say 17. I'm feeling 17. Yep. You know, it's giving 17. That's what it's giving right now, Connor.
Okay.
Yep.
I like it. Okay.
Yep.
I don't know if you can just combine the 10 and the 7 together or what, but I mean, I like it. Now we're going to the final pick in the first round for the East side of the bracket. Number 2, Iowa State versus South Dakota State. I gotta go Iowa State. It's one of the underrated teams. Debatably could have been a 1 seed, but rightfully so. They're a 2 seed. I think they're going to win this one pretty easily.
Yeah, Iowa State. I don't know how far they'll go, but at least they'll go further than the first round, and at least in our eyes, hopefully able to make it to at least the second. Might be kind of surprising if they go to 3rd and 4th, Sweet 16, but Marquette and Western Kentucky. I have to go with Marquette. I don't think anyone is believing that Western Kentucky is going to beat Marquette, especially in the conference they're in, the Big East Conference. Really good. And the way they performed this year, they proved that they can, make a run here in the tournament.
Pretty sure Marquette, they're getting one of their leading scorers, Tyler Golick, back. So, I mean, that's obviously a done deal. They're getting him back, which is huge for them in their tournament run this year. So, we go to the West Division, or are we going to finish out the brackets?
Let's finish out the bracket.
Finish out the bracket? All right. So, my second round is UConn versus FAU. 2 teams made the Final Four. As you guys know, UConn won the national tournament last year. I think they have a really good chance of doing it again, so I'm going to go UConn over FAU.
UConn over FAU. Yep. Yeah, I agree with that too. UConn, one of the strong favorites, to actually win it all. In my eyes, I don't think they will. Might be an unpopular opinion, but we'll see eventually. Houston, Nebraska. I want to go with the boys in Nebraska, but I think Houston will edge them out. I don't think Nebraska has the power to beat them, even though I want them to. But yeah, I think Houston will get the job done over there in Memphis.
UAB versus Auburn. I got to go Auburn. I mean, don't just want to choose a higher seed, but I just think it would be they get the one lucky win, but then Auburn beats them.
Yep.
They advance to the Sweet 16.
It's a good pick there. Wisconsin and Duke. This is going to be an interesting one. I think Duke will come out on top, beating Wisconsin. It'll be a close game for sure. I think it'll be single digits, but I think they'll be able to win it.
I think Duke's card play will prevail over Wisconsin's, and that's what the deciding factor in that game will be. All right, now we got BYU and Illinois. Tough game, as Illinois draws one of the harder 6 seeds in the entire tournament, but I think Illinois again. If everybody's playing well, move up to the Sweet 16, the second weekend in Brad Underwood's career, first ever in Brad Underwood's career as a U coach. So move the boys in orange up to the Sweet 16. I like that.
Is that bias or is that?
No, I mean serious. Like you think about it.
Right.
They do have a good team, but I think Illinois outlasts them though. It's gonna be close.
Yep. Texas Tech, Kentucky. I'm going with Kentucky.
Okay,
Yep.
So no upset. All right, Kentucky.
Yep.
I like that pick. I mean, some of these brackets here are kind of hard to choose upsets because there's a lot of good teams, and you aren't afraid to take the upset here.
Especially when looking prior to years, you see some just crazy upsets, coming into fruition, coming into play. So at least for me, last year, actually, I didn't really pick too many upsets. I thought the higher seeds were going to win most of it. This year, I'm, kind of on the other side of things.
All right, I'm going to shock the world. Drake over Iowa State.
Wow.
Like I said, Drake's going to be the sleeper team that makes a good run. I got Drake over Iowa State.
Yep. Okay. So Drake there with the upset. Hard to see, as you said, but we'll see eventually. Florida and Marquette on the south side once again, and I think Marquette wins that one in the second round, beating Florida and facing off against Kentucky after.
Alrighty, now we got the champ versus Auburn. I just cannot see Bruce Pearl in this situation losing to UConn. I mean, I think this is where you talk about where UConn, they're beatable, they're not going to win. I think this is where they fall. Sweet 16 against Auburn. So Auburn going to the Elite Eight.
Oh, really? I thought we were going to pick UConn. Wow.
No.
Auburn University making it almost all the way, at least for now. Wow. Interesting. Okay, Houston, Drake. Oh, no, actually, no, this is not Drake. This is Duke. My initials, abbreviations did not work. So, Duke, Houston. Yeah, Houston wins.
Houston? Wow.
No upset there.
All right. Now I got Illinois and Drake.
It's going to be tough for you.
I mean, it's going to be tough because, I obviously want, Drake to, make the run. But I got money on Illinois making the Final Four this year. But my next pick will shock you. So we'll go Illinois over Drake. But stay tuned.
Mm-hmm. Two teams in the state of Illinois, not too far away from each other. Peoria. Actually, no, Drake is not even. No, I'm thinking about Bradley.
Yeah, you're good.
I don't know how Bradley got into the NCAA tournament.
I mean, Bradley did make it a couple years ago, but they got blown out by Michigan State.
Yeah, no, that's definitely not it. Okay, Kentucky, Marquette.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. I have a lot of faith and a lot of trust in Marquette.
Shaka Smart, man, never had the greatest tournament resume, but all right, I like it. I think this team's different this year from his last few teams. But Auburn, Illinois, I gotta go Auburn. I think Bruce Pearl's just too smart of a coach. I think he'll find a way to beat Illinois, so I go Auburn in the Final Four.
Bye, Illinois.
It sucks to say that. I don't want to say it, but have you done?
Yeah, I don't think Illinois is going to really win the whole thing or, get too close to it.
Fingers crossed.
Hoping.
I'm hoping and praying. But we'll have to see how it goes.
Auburn will face either Houston or Marquette.
No, they will face the winner of the West.
Actually, oh yeah, no.
Let's finish this out.
I think I need more contact, better contacts here.
Yeah, you're good.
Or my glasses.
So who's making the Final Four, Houston or Marquette?
Okay. Tough one, but it's gonna be Houston.
Wow, okay. So you do not pick any upsets in your side.
Nope. Marquette was just caught in a bad romance. Really, they're not going to make it.
All right. Now let's move down to the West. We got the West and Midwest now. I'm gonna go I got the West. North Carolina easily beating Howard or Wagner.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't see a number 1 seed falling this year, unlike last year.
Yep. North Carolina. I agree there. Really strong team. Purdue. I'm not even going to say who they're going to face. Purdue's going to win. If they don't, wow.
Yeah, I mean they can't. I mean if they fall back-to-back years after having the national player of the year on your team, that's just embarrassing.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we got 8 and 9. Mississippi State and Michigan State is another one of those up in the air toss-up games. I'm gonna have to go Michigan State here. I think Tom Izzo's gonna figure out with this team on how to make it past round 1 and turn this year.
Michigan State beating Mississippi State. Okay. Utah State against TCU. I'm going to go with the upset TCU.
I like that. I think TCU is just too good of a team. And Utah State, nothing against them. They're a good team too, but I think TCU right now with how they're playing, it's going to be hard to beat them.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now we got St. Mary's, the 5 seed, going up against the 12 seed Grand Canyon.
Upset?
I'm liking the upset here over St. Mary's. Nothing against them. They're a great team, but I gotta go Grand Canyon. I think TCU's gonna pull this one out here.
So Grand Canyon beating St. Mary's.
All right.
Gonzaga, McNeese. Gonzaga, for sure. Yep. Did you have your doubts on that one?
Yeah, just because one of the Gonzaga teams hasn't been the greatest in the last few years for Coach Few and them, the Bulldogs, but McNeese is one of those hotter teams, but I'll respect the pick Gonzaga. That game go either way. But I'll give you some context on Kansas and Stanford. But let's move over to my side. Go to Alabama versus Charleston. That game is going to be a shooting range.
Mm-hmm.
That thing's going to be a dogfight through and through. But I think Alabama is going to pull it up just like the last second.
Yep.
That's going to be a tough game for them to lose.
So a buzzer beater?
I wouldn't say a buzzer beater, but it's going to be tough for them not to lose that game.
Kansas facing off against Sanford.
But as I said, Kansas is going through some injuries, so I don't know if that's going to destroy your pick or not, but
Mm-hmm.
throw that out there. Kansas got some injury issues possibly.
You know what? They got injuries, but I got faith. Let's go with Kansas.
Okay, you all right?
Yep.
Alrighty, now we got Clemson and New Mexico. Mexico Lobos, I believe it's their mascot versus the Clemson Tigers. You know, people are doubting New Mexico. You know, they think they're gonna get up, blown out by Clemson. So I can see it happening, but not this way. I think New Mexico wins it.
Yep.
I can see them winning this first round at least.
Wait, you said New Mexico?
Mexico.
Oh, okay. For a second, I thought you said Clemson.
No.
South Carolina, Oregon. I think we're gonna see an upset. Oregon's gonna beat South Carolina.
I like
Yeah.
I like Oregon.
For the women's side of thing, I think South Carolina wins the whole thing.
I mean, I've done one women's bracket, and I just chose UConn all the way because I was there on their reign of terror, and I ended up getting it wrong. But all right, back to ours now. We got Baylor at the 3 seed versus Colgate. I've seen Colgate play. I've seen Baylor play. Baylor's just too good of a team. Colgate's one of those teams like you shut down their best guys, they're not winning. So
Baylor, yep. Which I think I mentioned it earlier, but I have Baylor winning the whole thing. Yeah. I don't think, you're the one in charge of that side, but I don't think you'll have Baylor winning, the whole thing. But
I mean, it's interesting. I mean, we'll get some more of the picks later.
Creighton and Akron. Creighton, for sure. Yep. Yep.
Nothing against Akron. It's a great program. They're well coached over there. But Creighton right now, they're playing ball and they know how to win over the Big East. All right, now the 7-10 Dayton versus Nevada. I'm gonna choose both 10 up to 10 seeds winning. I go Nevada. I mean, I just trust them more over Dayton this year just because their record against top 25 teams is so much better than Dayton. So Nevada.
So another upset there. 10 upsetting 7. Um, I'm not gonna do the same on my side. I think Texas,
Texas.
7 seed, is going to beat number 10 seed.
I think it all depends on that game, who wins between Virginia and Colorado State.
So you think there's a chance that Texas gets eliminated first round?
I think, okay, so here's what I think. If Colorado State loses to Virginia, I could see Virginia and Texas being like a 55-53 game, just because Virginia's defense is just so good. But if not, Texas blows out Colorado State.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now down to the 2, Arizona versus Long Beach State. I know Arizona's done this to us before. You know, they've been beat by the lower seed when they should have been like title favorites. But I just got to see how good Arizona is this year, losing to Long Beach State.
Yep.
Especially early rounds, but different rounds, different stories probably.
I'll go with my number 2 as well. Tennessee beating St. Peter's in my eyes. Think they prevail.
Tennessee, another one of those teams debatable for a 1 seed. I mean,
Yep.
but you know, with them getting blown out by Mississippi State and their conference tournament, yeah, that definitely cuts them at a 2 seed. All right, let's go over to the West here. We got the 1 and 9 between UNC and MSU, Michigan State Spartans. I just don't see North Carolina losing to like the NBA, really. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
the team's good. Not title good, in my opinion, but I think they're good.
So
They have a lot of
North,
experience, but I guess they're a really good team.
so North Carolina beating Michigan State.
Yep.
On my side, I got Purdue TCU. I think Purdue wins it.
All right, then I'm gonna go over to got Grand Canyon versus Alabama. Let's see who I have Cinderella picks. Yeah, we'll make. How about this? We'll make the Troll Seed Grand Canyon University Antelopes the Cinderella team this year.
So Grand Canyon's winning.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Alabama, bye-bye. Gonzaga, Kansas all the way.
Kansas still?
I think
Even
Kansas.
with their injuries?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. It's going to be a shocker, but yes.
I can definitely see it. I mean, Bill Self was an amazing coach for the Jayhawks. Rock Chalk, as I like to say. I think they went with KU. Yeah, I like that pick. Now we got New Mexico versus Baylor. I mean, the Baylor team is scary and good. So Baylor.
Baylor, yep.
You got Oregon and Creighton. Who do you think?
Oh. I think Creighton.
Creighton? All right.
Yeah.
Rocking with the Blue Jays. All right.
Next round, I think they get eliminated, but, for now, I think they're doing solid.
All right, now we got Nevada and Arizona. I want to see Arizona lose because they've choked against teams they shouldn't choke against, but I just cannot see them losing to Nevada.
Right.
So we'll go Arizona.
Perfect. I agree with that. Texas, Tennessee. Tennessee.
Dalton Connect, second best player in the nation, arguably the third. Unitarian Shannon of Illinois, but Tennessee is just too good. Oh, we got UNC in the Sweet 16 versus Grand Canyon. I would like to have Grand Canyon move on, but I just can't over North Carolina.
Right.
North Carolina.
Yep.
Their magical run ends after winning some couple important cool victories.
They made it far enough.
Yeah.
Purdue, Kansas. Purdue. Yeah. That's where the Kansas injuries come into
Come
play.
hurt 'em?
Yeah.
Okay. I like it. Baylor, Arizona.
Ooh. Pick the right one.
This is where I go with Arizona chokes.
Yes, I like that.
This is Baylor. This is Baylor making the Elite Eight versus North Carolina.
I agree. Creighton and Tennessee. Tennessee. They keep it going.
All right. I'm interested to see what you're going to pick for that game.
Mm-hmm.
But UNC versus Baylor. Baylor.
Baylor. Here we go. So my bracket, my official bracket on ESPN, it's looking good right now.
I'm liking the Baylor pick. I think they're an underrated pick for the championship. But I think they're going to pull it out.
Purdue, Tennessee. Even though Purdue's in the Big Ten, I have to go with the SEC team. Tennessee's gonna win
I
it.
like it.
Yep.
I just don't think Purdue has the firepower to win a championship.
Mm-hmm.
Even though they are one of the better teams, don't get me wrong, but if you can stop Zach Edey and somehow stop a little bit of their guard play, yeah, it gets done. All right, first Final Four matchup. Speed fire, Auburn versus Baylor. We'll go Baylor. I think Bruce Pearl's going to choke against Scott Drew.
Yeah.
Go Baylor.
My bracket looks better every time. I like it.
All right, who do you got between Houston and Tennessee?
Tennessee.
Tennessee? Okay.
Yep.
Don't get me wrong, I love Houston, great team.
Mhm.
I think they're also one of the things though about them is they choke a lot. They find them choking late. All right, so do you want to go like count 1, 2, 3? Do you think's gonna win?
Yeah, I like that. Let's do it. You got the count?
Yep.
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Baylor.
Tennessee.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay, it's gonna be divided here. So we'll just go with both. It's gonna be either one or the other, either
Yeah,
Baylor
we'll rock with that.
or Tennessee. I picked Baylor. You got Tennessee.
All right, so do you want to do a final score prediction here? You do yours, I'll do mine.
Yeah. Let's. You want total points in the game, or you want final score exactly?
How about we just go final score? Because I mean, the total points thing's kind of weird.
Okay.
Just start calculating stuff, but I'm gonna go final score. Tennessee beats Baylor 71-67.
I say Baylor beats Tennessee 73-69. I'll put it. Yep, 73-60. I like that. I'm rocking with it. Can't wait whenever the finals actually comes on to see if any of our teams actually make it, and if these two teams make it, we're watching this game together and we're gonna have a blast doing so.
This is the official bracket of Wildcat.
Yep. I like that. Official bracket of the Wildcat Network. There you have it. And maybe even the official bracket of possibly Culver Stockton. Hey, we'll see. Connor, it's been a pleasure once again getting to speak with you. Thank you guys. Yeah, of course. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you next time for another episode of Off the Bench podcast here with Esteban Velas. Thank you guys.